Here's the worksheet that we just had on rational expressions. If you take a quick look up and down, you'll see that I've done all the factoring on the steps so that I don't have to spend time on that. And as I mentioned to you already, it's really important to make sure you do the factoring in another location so that you don't mess up the flow of the example. So going from here now, I just want to mention a couple of things as I go about the factoring as I do the canceling. Number 1a, we have the factoring done, and I see that I have two brackets that match. The m minus 2's cancel. That will give me a 1 and a 1, which I'm not going to bother to write on future questions. So on the top, I'm going to get 3 bracket m minus 1. On the bottom, it's going to be 2m plus 3. Now I don't have to, but I'm going to put the bracket here anyways, just to remind myself that it's a unit and I can't cancel those 3's. Next one, I'm going to be taking a look at the brackets that match. I've got the 3x plus 4y's. In case you didn't realize, that was a difference of 2 squares on the top. And now I'm going to be left with 3x minus 4y over the x minus 2. Brackets, like I said, help protect the terms. Now, in this particular question, we have a 3 minus d on top and a d minus 3 on the bottom. And so we realize that these are opposites of each other. Canceling them out, chop, chop, we put the negative on top. And so we get negative 3 on top, d minus 1. Moving on, number 2. These questions are just a little more complicated. They have some operations, and the dot represents times. So always look for that GCF. Make sure you don't forget about it. And then look for the common brackets. 2x minus 1's, they cancel, and the x plus 5 cancel. Now, those constant factors sitting out in front are those monomial factors. Don't put them in brackets. We don't want to get confused. Now I'll multiply the 2 times the 3, and on the bottom, the 2x plus 1. Moving along, letter B, we have the common brackets. Don't forget the flip, okay? When you have a division, you need to flip the divisor. Proper word is reciprocal, of course. And we want to make sure that we recognize that now things are going to cancel top and bottom. For example, that x minus 1 from the bottom and a 2x minus 3, which would have gone anyways. Now, don't forget about the 6 and the 8. That is a fraction, 6/8, which is going to reduce to 3/4. You'll be left with 3x minus 1 over x plus 1. And try as you might, the x plus 1 and the x minus 1 won't cancel from one another because they're one of them's got a plus, one of them's got a minus. They're not opposites or anything like that. Question C. We have the 3d minus 1 and the 3d minus 1. The d plus 5, no, that doesn't work. And that's it for the factoring. We do have a 6 and a 2 that are going to factor or cancel. That's going to be a 1 and a 3. And so, oh yeah, look at that 5 minus d and the d minus 5. They're opposites of each other. Now here's something that's really important. After you cancel the d minus 5 and the 5 minus d, they're opposites. You're going to put the negative. Put that negative way out in the very front. Otherwise, you might be tempted to do a subtraction on that term, the 3. So now it's going to be equal to negative 3 on top, d plus 2. And in the denominator, d plus 5, d plus 4. And don't forget that leading d right there to complete it. Now we have grouping. Hopefully you factored that properly. There was a difference of squares that came out of that. And in the second one, don't forget that there was a minus that you had to factor in front. The a minus 4's cancel, the a minus 3's cancel, and despite the fact we've got that the plus, the minus in the denominator, just like we did in class, we actually did this one in class, that's going to be negative a plus 3 or just negative a minus 3. If you wanted to just leave it as this, the negative in front of the bracket, that would be fine. All right, number 3, I did the canceling already for this one. Those are all monomials, and so you don't have to worry about having brackets at all. Just make sure that you're reducing common letters, variables, with their exponents, and dividing the numbers. Letter, and put a box around there, it is complete. Letter B, we have grouping on the top of the first fraction, grouping on the top of the second fraction. Now, for some reason, so many people in the class got this factoring wrong. They put the plus and the minus reversed. I don't know why, but when you do this kind of factoring, always be careful to make sure that the middle terms are going to work. That's a positive 3b and a negative 4b, which would combine to give me the middle term, which is a negative 1b up there. So just double check. Not only that, you might see that the b, if it was a b plus 2 and a 2b minus 3, things didn't cancel as nicely. Check this out. 2a plus 3, 2a plus 3. b plus 2, b plus 2. b minus 2, b minus 2. 2b plus 3, and 2b plus 3. All that's left, 2b minus 3 on top, and 2 on the bottom. Very nice. Going on, number 8. We have the a plus 2's that cancel. 5 minus 2a and 2a minus 5. Be doubly sure now. That's a positive 2a and a negative 5, a negative 2a and a positive 5, so they're opposites. I'm going to take this negative and put it out in the very front for the chop negative on top. And then I think there's some canceling that's going to go on with the 9 and the 30, but sometimes if the traffic is too busy, it helps to rewrite it a little bit better. So that's going to be negative 72, a to the 3 on top. And in the bottom, it's going to be 30 bracket a plus 2. And there is a little bit of reduction that could go on with the 72 and the 3. Both of them are going to divide by 6. So 6 goes into 72 12 times, and 6 goes into 30 5 times. So negative 12, yeah, don't forget that negative, a cubed over 5. No brackets necessary because they're all monomial factors. Did I forget something? Oh yeah, the a plus 2. Always take a look to make sure you haven't left anything behind. Next one, looks like there's a couple of things here. Remember that second fraction had to get flipped, right? When you did the multiplication, you turned it into a multiplication. And now we have x minus 4 over x plus 2. Last couple of questions here. All right, lots of factoring went on in this one. You had a difference of 2 squares on this one. We had a GCF on that one. We have a complex trinomial and a simple trinomial. So this was a good measure of your factoring skills. N plus 3's cancel. N plus 2's cancel. And unfortunately, nothing else is going to, so I'm going to be left with n minus 3 times 2n minus 1 on top. 3 bracket 3n minus 1 in the bottom. Now, last question. The typical mistake at this one was that some students forgot that these two 5's are going to cancel, and the g's, okay, at the end are going to cancel. But let me work my way up to that. I've got the 5g plus 2 and the 5g plus 2. I was really pleased that not too many people fell into the trap of thinking that 5g minus 2 and 2g minus 5, they almost look like they're opposites, but they're not. But I do have the 5's that cancel, and they disappear completely, and the g comes out of the bottom, and on the top of this one, it'll become a g squared. Try to be neat about all your canceling so you don't lose anything along the way. And in the bottom, we have 2g minus 5. Hopefully that's working out for you. If you have any questions, take another look at it and see. If you have difficulties with the factoring, you definitely need to go back and practice the factoring sheets. Thanks.